Mic check 1, 2. Tell these rappers I'm outside, get them start acting up. Turning hoes to housewives and cleaning the ratchet up. Do it all from boom back to melody rap. If they can put you in the box, then you might as well pack it up. Bars having bars, no cap, I'm Attica, you a precinct. How y'all competing when y'all just decent? Your rhyme efficiency's like logic's ethnicity. Don't tell me how much that you black, cause I don't see it. That's it. Fuck everybody on the front. When we get on the finals, bring that same energy, nigga.
Yeah. Live and direct on your YouTube screen once again is another episode of Knicks and Inch. Y'all already know the vibe. I am the one and only Parlay Lord, aka Fraz Taz, here in the building. And of course, you know I got the host of the show with me, my good brother, the one and only T-Time, the spark plug in the building.
And the spark plug.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
As always, do not forget, press like for your favorite panel. Sharing is always caring. If you're new, make sure you hit that subscribe and make sure your notification bell set to all for all notifications for when we go live. Oh man, this was a tough game tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Cardiac Knicks once again in the building. Tough loss to the Pistons tonight, 100-94, behind a 37-point effort from Jalen Brunson. Talk to me, Mr. Spark Plug.
Yeah. I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed for sure. The first half, but first of all, let me shout out my people.
Word, I forgot about that too. I forgot about
Mike,
y'all. My
was
bad.
was good, Mike. It
Go
was
get
good.
it 550. Where y'all at?
Maybe fiend it. My guy
Word.
in the
Molly
building.
Mall. What's poppin', Molly Mall?
And
Of course, you can't forget about Matty Ice.
That's a fact. My boy Matty Smooth.
Facts.
Shout out. Make sure y'all hitting that like button. Sharing is always caring. If you didn't subscribe already, make sure you do so. But yeah, I'm annoyed. I feel like as much as it's two things. As much as I want to complain about the refs in the first half, as much as I want to complain about the refs in the first half, it was a double-edged sword. We were playing bad, and the refs was helping the Pacers out. I mean the Pistons, excuse me. The Pistons out. So, and it kind of balanced out in the second half as far as the fouls and all that shit, the free throws. That kind of balanced out in the second half. So again, I can't lean too much on that because, like I said, it kind of balanced itself out. To me, the biggest problem tonight was the offensive efficiency was horrible. We couldn't hit no 3-point shots. That was horrible for most of the game. We were shooting very poorly from 3. And the bench, 8 points off the bench is nasty. You also got to play the bench for them to actually score points. But like, go get it. What's good? We see you, Playboy. You know what I mean? Tread lightly though. I'm in a bad mood. I ain't gonna lie. Tread lightly. But yeah, you got to actually play the bench for the bench to score. Only person that really got minutes off Mitchell Robinson and Deuce played. Mitch played 20. Deuce played 13. Cam and Landry only played 4 and 5 respectively. So the bench scoring was an issue. But my biggest issue of all was, there go Kev. All right, boom. Let me add Kev to the stage. Yeah. My biggest issue of all was Cat being guarded by Tobias Harris and being held at 10 points and only 6 rebounds. This is the most egregious thing I've ever seen in my life, bro. You know what I mean? Now, I like Cat. So this is not no Cat hate. You know what I mean? Like, I like Cat. I like what he brings to our team. You feel me? But at the same time, in the same breath, there is no way in the world you're supposed to have 6'8" Tobias Harris checking you as a 7-footer and you don't have 40.
Right.
Cat to have 40 with this guy guarding him. You know what I mean? 40, bro. Like, it, it- when we do give Cat the ball in the post, he's not making quick moves. He can't really overpower Tobias Harris. Like, and then Tobias Harris is keeping him off the boards. Now, I'm saying, like, even if you can't score, this should have been a 20 rebound game for you, bro. They
Mm-hmm.
got Tobias Harris checking you. How is he keeping you off the boards? Like, so this is and that's my major issue with tonight. I mean, we could talk about Jalen Brunson need to move the ball more. Yeah, that's a point. You know what I mean? We could talk about the poor 3-point shooting. That's a point. But my biggest gripe tonight is definitely Cat letting Tobias Harris check him, bro. Like that plan should have been scrapped after the game one. If Cat was really on bullshit, he should have punished him so bad from thinking that that was a viable option on defense that it should have been scrapped in game one. You know what I mean? And I don't know, going to Detroit, I don't know what Cat need to do, listen to some DMX or something before the game, but he need to be ultra aggressive and punish them for having Tobias Harris guarding him. It's nasty. It's nasty. I don't wanna see Cat be so passive with Tobias on him. Like that is nasty, bro. I'm gonna land the plane there. I'm mad at this loss. Uh I appreciate the fourth quarter effort. You know what I mean? But we shouldn't have even been in that situation. You know what I mean? I'm gonna land the plane there.
Well, Kev, what up, cuz?
What up,
Welcome in the
cuz? What's
co-host of
goody?
the
What's
show,
goody?
Kev Rodriguez, in the building. Go
What's
ahead, give us
going
your
on,
thoughts on
y'all?
Make
tonight's
sure y'all
game,
hitting
man.
that like button for sure.
Definitely.
Um, deal with that dude, and he taking all the shot. Um, I knew Go Getter was gonna come in hot today, with the Jalen Brunson stuff. But listen, man, um, I think it's really, moving the ball is a big thing, right? So it does start off with Jalen Brunson. But at the same time, like as a team, everybody, not just him, everybody got to move the ball. You know what I mean? Like even Cat, for a big man who can pass the ball, he got to do the same thing. You know what I mean? You can't just blame Brunson all the time. Like it got to go in other directions too. Um, but the difference in the game to me, it had to be the referees in that first half, bro. And if you just looked at the
Free throws.
nah. I was just watching Tibbs and when he was saying, and it's like it's crazy because yo, you touch Cade Cunningham, and that's an automatic foul, bro.
Yeah.
And it takes for Jalen Brunson to get super hacked just to get any calls, bro. And not just Jalen Brunson, it's everybody. And Karl-Anthony Towns was getting murdered driving to the basket. As a matter of fact, he should have had a few and ones today, a few of them.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here watching the game and I'm like, yo, what's going on in this first half, bro? I got the numbers. Hold on, where's my phone? If I'm not mistaken, in the first half, it was 20 free throws for Detroit and only two for the
True.
Knicks.
Yeah.
How
It
was
wasn't
that,
20.
bro?
It was 14-2.
You sure? I
Yeah,
swore it was like
nah.
20,
But
bro.
like midway through the third, it was like 22-2 or some wild shit like that. You know what I
But
mean? But yeah,
like, yo, bro, that's crazy, bro. That was crazy to me. I couldn't understand, what was going on with these referees, and I don't usually like to use that as an excuse, but I think that really played a big difference in the first half. Um, and the poor 3-point shooting by everybody, not everybody shot the ball bad. I think we got to do a better job, and like we keep saying, not cutting to the basket, and I don't see a lot of that in this game at all. Actually, it was a lot of ISO basketball being played today. Um, the ball moved a little better in the fourth quarter when they made that little run. They were down like 15, and they came back, and I think they got up to like what, 2 points. But guys got to do a better job, man. Like the lack of effort on the defense. The defense was good, but the lack of effort in like attacking the basket more. Um, the 3-point shooting was horrific, especially in the first half. I think we knocked down like what, two or three 3-pointers in the first half.
something like that.
Yeah, it was just terrible. And OG, for some reason in this game then wasn't too involved, I should say. He should have been more involved in this game. For I think he played like 40 minutes. For 40 minutes to only give us 10 points. I think Cat, Josh, and OG gave us 10 points each,
Yeah,
which is kind of nasty work for a playoff game. We need them guys to step up a little more. Mikal gave us some work today. He stepped up big in this game, but they got to do a better job at ending these games in the fourth quarter.
yeah. So here's a problem too, right? Like, yeah, when you look at what the game really came down to, right? And if you just go from a number standpoint, we got more shots at the basket, about like seven more shots at the basket. We made actually one more shot, right? We made one more field goal than they did, right? Uh, we made four more 3-pointers than they did. Now we get to the problem. Well, before we get to the problem areas, right? Uh, we had
Rebounding.
we had
Hmm.
four more assists than they had. We had one more
Right.
steal than they did. They had three more blocks than us. Turnovers, we had two less than them.
They out rebounded us though.
Yeah, fast break points is about even. Points in the paint, they outscored it by six. But free throws, they shot 34 to our 19. They made 28 to our 16. And rebounds, 48 to our 34. Right? Uh, Free throws, we obviously was watching the game and we saw what was happening there.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, right?
That was crazy. They kind of like made it up in the fourth quarter. Like, you know
Yeah,
what? Let us
it
start.
was
Like,
still not even close.
yeah, it
Right?
wasn't.
They still made nine more than we shot. You know what I mean? They made nine more than we shot, and they missed seven. No, six. Excuse me. They missed six, and they still shot made nine more than we shot. So that's a problem, right? And then you go to the rebound. I gotta blame a lot of this on Cat. Again, you're getting boxed up by Tobias Harris. Guy is 6'8". There's no reason why you shouldn't have your typical 12, 13 rebound game. I'm not even mad about you not scoring. I'm mad the fact that like, yo, he made you look like you not 7 feet tonight.
Or
I don't like that. You know what I mean? I don't like that. I don't like that at all. But if you take away those things, we we very much was in this game. If you take away all their free throws and you take away our poor rebounding, we very much should have won this game. You know what I mean? I kind of like again. I can't blame it all on the refs, but the refs definitely helped. Uh, that refs definitely helped seal this win early on with the big free throw discrepancy. But also too, I also third quarter. You got to look at the third quarter. The offense is giving you nothing. You play the whole starting five pretty much the whole
Yeah, that was
third quarter,
crazy.
and we only scored 4 points in like 7 minutes. How do you not try to shake anything up? Like
No adjustments.
I've been off trying to blame Tibbs for a lot of stuff because I always go I won't be the fool to argue with results, but at the same time, like you could not have been watching that third quarter and was like, yo, I need I need to keep the starting five out there as is. That third quarter was nasty. It was nasty, and Tibbs didn't make no adjustment the third quarter, like
And it's
none
and it,
whatsoever.
and it's crazy because he did the complete opposite in the first game.
You see what I'm saying?
Yo, he did the complete opposite of the first game. First games, he made some adjustments, and the adjustments that he made, worked out well. But in this game, I don't know what happened, bro. And it didn't help that Cam had 3 fouls in 2 minutes.
Yeah, for sure.
It didn't help. That didn't help at all.
So this is why I'm not super blaming Brunson, right? Because especially if you was watching the third quarter and you was there watching the first half, nobody was scoring besides Mikal. Nobody. There were shots going up and guys were missing. You feel me? Like so at that point, it is his job as the best player and the captain of the team to try to pull us to victory. Because at the end of the day, the first half, Cat wasn't playing no good offense. Mikal had some good offense. OG wasn't playing good offensively, uh, or OG. And you can't say he was chucking shots in the first half because that's Cat. He definitely was moving the ball, getting off the ball. Second half is when he started to try to go do hero ball. So I'm not all the way mad at JB. Do I think it was times that he should have moved the ball? Yes. But I also was watching the game and saw that there was no offense coming from nowhere else. Right?
Right.
So I'm not. I can't be all the way mad. I'm not saying that he was all the way right, but I'm not saying he was all the way wrong. If you dig what I'm saying. I mean, Fraz, holla at us, man.
Yeah, shout out everybody who's here pulled up. Gonna watch this video later on in the evening. Let me reference this because sis ain't here. It don't help when we only got 15 assists. All right, that's an abysmal number. Sis usually says 25 or more. Ball was not moving like it should have been tonight, and it could have been way better with us just recognizing that it was trying to take the ball out of JB hands a lot of the game. We failed to recognize that in a timely manner. We failed to properly get the ball in the front court and get set up on offense. If you're watching this game, you see it. I see it. Asar Thompson harassing Jalen Brunson on a number of plays up the court, denying the ball, preventing Jalen Brunson from bringing the ball up the court. That's a big thing. This is something that the Knicks should be prepared for. You should be expecting teams to come out, put their best defender on Jalen Brunson, denying him the ball, trying to get the ball out of his hands and make other guys bring the ball up the court and set up the offense so we not getting into our regular flow. Turnovers was abysmal in the first half. It's like we couldn't hold on to the ball for nothing. I think, as a matter of fact, I think we had 14 turnovers this game. We just literally, Detroit played us better in most of the statistical categories tonight.
Yeah.
You surely ain't gonna win a game shooting 28% from three, 10 for 35 is horrible. Definitely horrible. Um, Tibbs, you back to playing nine guys again. This ain't gonna cut it moving forward. It's playoffs now, dog. You gotta get out of this 9 man rotation nonsense. You gotta start playing more than nine guys, bro. Like it's all or nothing at this point in the playoffs. There shouldn't be no holding back. You shouldn't be thinking like this is regular season. No, you need to start playing toward matchups. You need to start playing Mitch and Cat together a little bit more in this series because the way we got our rebounding today, I don't like if it's gonna keep up like this. I don't think this is gonna help us moving forward. Like they gotta do something to contain the rebounds, deny the second chance opportunities because it was getting a lot of second chance opportunities in this game, especially in the second half of this game. It was like second, even third opportunities they was getting off of rebounds, and we was not grabbing a rebound. We was not boxing out. It was like, and to only score one basket in the third quarter, I believe it was like the first 7 minutes, something like that. So it was like, bro, they were just the first 7+ minutes of the third quarter. The Knicks only had one basket. Nasty work. Ain't gonna get it done. They
Yeah.
had an 11-0 run on us during this time, and shit talker Paul Reed was scoring buckets,
Word.
which is
That's a
like
fact.
wow. And that's what got them up to a 15-point lead with 5 minutes to go in the third.
Yeah.
Simply that. You know, they got to stop getting caught up on the switch with Cade Cunningham. That's the reason why Cade Cunningham was eating more this game than last game because he was catching us on the switch and guys were not they were just out of position. Period. It's
But
like,
but
bro,
but I felt like in game one, they let us play more physical with him. And in this game, it was the complete opposite. I don't know. Maybe I'm bugging,
So,
but I
so
felt like
yeah, finish. My fault.
nah. Go ahead.
So here's my take on that. Like, I feel like it was a lot of the difference in how we defended him tonight. I felt like we blitzed the pick and roll more. Yeah, I mean we were up on the pick and roll and didn't allow him the space to come off the pick and roll as smoothly as he did, so he could get downhill. Like Cat was up more on the pick and roll, putting his body in front of Cade, so he couldn't just go around the screen and get to where he wanted to go, and gave OG enough time to uh, you know get back in the picture to defend. Now, th- that is a double edged sword, like because you got to worry about the roller. I'm not scared of Duran scoring fucking 30 points. You know what I mean? I'm not. I'm not scared of that. You know what I mean? So I would much rather. So before I get there, I think that's another reason why he was able to get to the line as much and get as many foul calls because we let him get downhill. You know what I mean? And back to what I was saying, we made him a passer more in game one. You know what I mean? And he was picking his spots pretty good. I ain't gonna lie. He was getting in transaction and attacking right. I mean transition and attacking right away. That also made a difference too. Uh, but yeah, I felt like as the game progressed, OG kept on getting tired of going over these screens and was getting stuck a lot
hmm
more. You know what I mean? Like e- every action with Cade was off a screen, and they're not setting no BS screens like we set. We set some sorry screens, man, and that's nasty work too. They set some real screens, even the guards. You feel me? So, like, I think that was a major difference in why Cade, you know, was getting to the line a little bit more, and some ticky tack fouls too.
That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, I don't know, man. And he be pushing off on people too.
for sure.
He get away with that as well.
Yeah, that off arm is his move.
Yo, it's all the time, bro. He did it a few times to OG today. No offensive. That should those should be offensive
Yeah,
offensive fouls.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's.
yeah, no.
I also feel
It's
it's a
like
lot of
really one sided, bro, in
there's
this
a lot
game.
of blame to be shared today. You feel me?
Yeah, for
Uh,
sure.
I want Tibbs to lean on the double big lineup more because Mitch was doing playing really well. I ain't gonna lie.
Yo,
I
yo,
liked
Steven.
Mitch minutes. Yo,
I'm
you know what's
sorry.
crazy? There's only two people that was in the plus minus today. Mikal was a plus one. Mitch was a plus three, and yet Mitch only got 20 minutes. You know what I
Uh,
mean?
Yeah, it's
yeah,
crazy.
Cat. And here's my thing. Here's my thing. It might sound stupid, right? Because Cat makes a lot of money, and he's the second best player on a team. But if he's not being effective scoring, right? If he's not being aggressive and effective scoring, I would much have rather have Mitch on the floor, right? If Cat is not going to take advantage of the tools that God gave him on the offensive end, put Mitch in the game, bro. Put him in the game. You know what I mean? Because what we doing here? Cat wasn't trying to shoot no threes. He wasn't trying to get to the cup. Like he'll get the ball, he'll stand there and looking for the pass. You got Tobias Harris on him. You're not posting up. You're not being aggressive. And even when you do try to shoot, you shooting fadeaways over Tobias Harris. Come on. If that's and you're not giving us what we need from you on the boards, only 6 rebounds, put Mitch in. Mitch had more rebounds than Cat in half the time.
and I that was the reason why we traded for Cat to not just because we lost Hartenstein, but to just have that matchup tandem with him and Mitch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's been the complete opposite. He don't really like play them as much as he should have. Cause I think it would help because Jalen Duran and what's her name, Isaiah Stewart. That's not easy right there, bro.
Yeah.
So I think that he should think about playing those guys together and maybe start opening up the rotation up a bit and give Precious some minutes.
I'm not mad at that neither. And that I forgot to
Yeah,
read. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? I agree with that. Especially if it's, a physical matchup. I think
right.
Precious fell in that situation. And also I think you play the long right over Shamit. This is not a series for Shamit. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
don't think it's a series for Shamit.
Yeah, my boy
I
King
think
QB
Nah,
spot on, man. We was
yeah,
listen,
talking
you're
about
not
that.
gonna, yeah, you're not. Yo, listen, go get. I get that I get that you don't. You're not a Brunson fan. You're not a fan of Brunson. But nobody in their right mind is gonna sit Jalen Brunson and start Dylan White, bro. It's not gonna happen.
he
Nobody in
trolling,
their
bro.
right mind. Nobody. Yo, you would get fired
Bro,
doing
he
something
trolling.
like that, bro. You will get fired.
That's gotta be trolling.
Any coach in this league would automatically get fired if they made a move like that,
Hold on.
bro. So that's this. It's just
Yo, Kev, I don't
that's
even know
not.
how you dignified that comment with an answer. He's for sure trolling. He's
Yeah,
for sure
I
trolling, bro.
just
You know what I mean?
like, don't
He's
get
for
me
sure
wrong. I
trolling.
get don't now. Listen, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not. You know, Brunson got to be held accountable on certain things. Passing the ball could be one of them. There could have been some plays that he could have took back and made better decisions. I'm pretty sure he'll tell you that. But I'm not gonna sit my star player down, bro, just because we didn't win this game. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like
Wait, Brunson.
without Brunson there is no 51 games won, bro. You know what I mean? This
Yeah,
team is not a playoff team without Jalen Brunson, bro.
yeah, he's trolling, bro. Wow,
Yeah.
he's trolling. But yeah, uh, yeah, it was one play in the first half that was mind-boggling to me that Jalen Brunson made. He tried to shoot over two guys. He missed obviously, and Cat was
Nah,
wide
yeah.
open from the 3-point line. I'm like, what are we doing, bro? You feel me? Like in those instances, I think Brunson needs to be better. I know that he feels that he needs to put the team on his back, but not necessarily, bro. You feel me? Like not necessarily. Like if we moving the ball early, we getting Mikal to the midi, we getting OG coming off that curl off the wing. You know what I mean? That pin down curl. I don't know what it's called, right? I don't know the technical terms. You know what I mean? I just watch a lot of basketball. I don't do the technical terms. But there's a pick that they
Right.
got they usually get OG off of. It's the same play they used to use for RJ when he was here. Uh, there's a pick off the wing and get OG the ball going downhill. That play, get McCall to the midi. Yeah, I mean, run some kind of action for Cat because they don't run no action for Cat. They just give him the ball and be like, either drive or shoot it. You feel me? Like, run some kind of action for Cat. Get the rest of the team involved. You know what I mean? Keep the ball moving. The ball was way too stagnant today. Yeah, I mean,
And it was like that for both teams, bro,
yeah,
because
yeah.
Detroit only had
They
11
only had like 11
assists.
assists. 11.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, both teams, both, so it wasn't just the Knicks, both teams could have did a better job at moving the ball around, but um, guys got to knock down shots too.
Yeah.
Mikal hit some big shots late in the game. OG missed some big shots. Josh missed some big shots. Cat wasn't being aggressive enough for a guy that we paying almost $50 million for. Um, you know, guys got to be more aggressive, bro. This is the playoffs. This ain't a
And
regular season game.
you know my motto too, right? I nobody should be shooting 11 3 pointers in a game. Nobody who's shooting 12 3 pointers in a game, right? Like that's a lot of 3 pointers. Mikal shot 11 3 pointers tonight, only made three. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
if I'm not mad at you, I'm not mad at you taking open shots. I'm
Yeah,
not mad of it. I'm
all right.
mad at it. You know what I
I
mean?
agree, but like if you like 0 for 3 and 3 pointers and you doing like a semi fast break pull up 3 pointer, that's a bad shot.
No, yeah,
I
no,
think
no, yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I
it was
agree
a
with that
lot of that.
1000%.
That's what I'm saying. Like if
But
you
if
one
like
for
you're
four,
cutting to the
you,
basket, like if Jalen Brunson, hmm
I hear what you're saying, but I'm saying like if you 1 for 4 and you Jalen Brunson and you doing a step back three, that's a bad shot. That's a bad
oh no,
shot.
yeah, completely
Yeah.
agree, completely
So
agree, completely
I'm
agree.
not
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about shooting wide open 3 pointers. They weren't shooting all wide open 3 pointers. That's the problem I have. You know what I mean? That's why I say nobody should be taking
hmm
11
hmm
shots because you're not gonna be open 11 times, bro, from the 3 point line. You know what I mean?
No, no, for sure.
You know what I mean?
But the ones that you are open, because at the last couple of 3-point shots that were taken, you know, guys were open and could have, and just didn't make those shots.
Yeah, yeah. It, yeah, at the end of the day, if some people's like, yo, if they being physical, we gotta match their physicality. It's impossible to do that today. It was literally
Nah,
impossible.
and it was impossible. Yeah, nah, that there was no, we couldn't match their physicality today, bro. Because even when they tried, we just the refs was on one today, bro.
Yeah,
There was a good takeaway from this game, though. The fact that Brunson fouled out Asar Thompson by going after him. I think Knicks players need to attack more guys in foul trouble. We need to put ourselves in better position to win games. And the only way you do that is go after these guys. If you seen Asar Thompson had foul trouble early, I'm going right after him again because you know they're gonna put him on Brunson again to try and disrupt Brunson from bringing the ball up the court.
I knew the
Like,
refs was on
But that's the
bullshit
thing, though.
when they called that foul for Dennis Schroeder when he and Dennis Schroeder he should have been called for a flopping foul that whole third and fourth quarter. No, the whole fourth quarter. Because every time there was a screen, he threw himself on the ground. That's nasty
hmm
work. Every single time he got screened, he was on the floor. You gotta call a flopping technical. That is a rule. He's flopping. You know what I mean? Like, ain't no way in the world every screen is putting you on the floor. Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, you trying to bait a foul call. Come on. Nasty work. But I knew we was in for some bullshit once I saw that foul call on Dennis Schroeder when he threw, like, he toppled over like somebody violently shoved him in the back. It's nasty work, man.
yeah.
Like even when Jalen Brunson hit Josh Hart for that basket when he left him by himself and Josh Hart dunked the ball, Jalen Durant fouled him from behind.
Yeah, for sure.
hmm
For sure.
That should have been an and one, no call. It's like the difference in like I don't get it, bro. I don't get it.
For sure.
I don't get it.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
don't get it twisted. It's still Knicks in five. It's still Knicks in five, but this was a nasty loss. It was a nasty loss, man.
It was a nasty loss, and I feel like one thing that we lacked. I felt like every time we forced a turnover, the Knicks would push the ball and put pressure on them. And I think that we did it a few times in this game, and we got a few stops towards the end of the game. But when it comes to like I think Marlins said it. I think Marlins said it earlier in the he was saying like the last minute decisions toward the end of the game kind of like shot us out of the game because of the
Hmm.
hmm
bad decisions offensively, bad shooting, like unnecessary 3 points. I know Jalen took an unnecessary 3 point shot. I think he could have did
For
something
sure.
else. Um um but yeah, man, I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a lot that need to be better. I think we need to come up with that fourth quarter intensity at the beginning of the game,
Right.
right? Well, I
Right.
don't.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
wait till the game is in its
Or for
final.
4 quarters, bro. For 4 quarters.
Bro, listen, we did. We get off to a good start. That erases a lot of mistakes that happened throughout the game, right? When you get off to a poor
Mhm.
start like we did, 18 points in the first quarter, now you have less room for error. You know what I mean? I have utmost confidence that we're gonna close out game strong. You know what I mean? Like even if we playing bad in the first three quarters, we're gonna come out in that fourth and we're gonna try to close out the game strong. So I'm not worried about that. It's the way that we start games that's a problem. We come out lethargic, like we're not ready to play. You know what I mean? Like that first half, it kind of looked like we never played together a day in our lives, and I didn't like it. You feel me? Like guys passing the ball to empty space, like what we doing? Like what we doing? We've played together all season. Granted, we've been missing people at sporadic times, but it was nasty offense. Not enough communication on defense. Like we really look disjointed and like we never played with basketball together before. And we need to start off from the beginning on Thursday. High intensity, attention to detail. You know what I mean? Like and go after these guys. You feel me? And I sound like a broken record, but I need Cat to give Tobias Harris 40. It's disgusting that Tobias Harris is guarding Cat, bro. Disgusting.
I think I think that's been a struggle for Cat throughout his career when they put shorter guys on him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Listen, not saying that I want Julius Randle back. All I'm saying, they could never. They could
Yeah,
never.
Julius Randle. You know,
Julius
he
Randle, they
was he
gave
was he
Tobias
was
Harris.
more he was definitely more of a physical type player than Cat
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
Um, but I just feel like Cat needs to stop. Just play your game, bro. We know what kind of player you are. You know what kind of player you are, bro. Just you better than half of them guys on that Detroit Pistons team, bro. You gotta, stop playing
Start playing
timid. He
like it.
playing. He played. Yeah. You start playing like he playing timid, man. You gotta play better than that. You know. We need that first game one Cat where he was more aggressive defensively. I felt like in the first quarter he was playing, eye defense. And then, somewhere later down the line, it kind of like simmered down a bit.
Yeah, and I also feel like it needs to be somebody, and it should be Cat that can look at JB and be like, "Yo, pass the fucking rock, pass the rock."
Word.
Yeah.
Like, yo, what we doing? Pass the rock, bro. Like we all can get buckets. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like JB don't need to feel like he need to take all the shots, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Nah, listen. It's like sis always say, ball movement is what can make this Knicks team dangerous. When this team moves the ball around, the offense is pretty. You know what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
they got to get back to doing that.
It, the first play of the game, right? It was beautiful ball movement. I just think they was being a little too unselfish, right? So it ended up being like a shot clock violation or something like that, or a bad shot that had to be chucked up because the shot clock went down. But I remember looking like, all right, I'm not mad. You know what I mean? The next time somebody got to be aggressive. We was trying to turn down good shots for great shots. Like let's keep on this path. And after that, they never did it again. They never did it again. And the ball movement disappeared right after that play. They was like,
Yup.
"Oh, yeah, that's not what we doing today." Yeah, I mean, and what also pisses me off too is watching Josh Hart play. Josh Hart has a superpower, his ability to attack the rim. He always want to wait to the second half to like turn that on. No, when you get the rebound, bro, take off, take off.
Yeah, I felt like last year in the playoffs he was way more aggressive, and his shot was falling. But now it's the complete opposite.
He not getting himself in no rhythm, gang.
Mm.
I mean, he not getting himself in no rhythm early. You know what I mean? You get yourself a rhythm early by being aggressive. You know what I mean? That's the phrase for everybody except for Jalen Brunson. Be more aggressive. You know what I mean? Like OG when he was going on his scoring rampage during the season, he was more aggressive. Cat when he's getting hot, he's more aggressive. Same thing with Josh Hart. You know what I mean? Like you gotta
You
know when to
know,
pick the spots. It was times in the game when Josh Hart would get the rebound or they pass it to him, and he'll speed up the court and it'd be like one or two guys there. And I'm like, yo, Josh, you usually attack right there. Split the defense, get some contact, go up for the layup. But you stop, pull it back up, give the ball to JB, go stand somewhere. I mean, that can't be the offense, man. It can't be the offense. That was the offense a lot tonight. Give JB the ball and stand somewhere. And I also
Word.
felt
Nasty
like
word.
JB was trying to prove a point to Asar Thomas that, like, you said I give no trouble. Now I'm gonna score on you all game. Like I felt like he took this game a little too personal.
who that JB
Yeah,
could be possibly, but other guys I keep saying it all the time, bro. Other guys got to step up And if those guys play aggressive, that'll take the ball out of JB hand. You know what I mean? If those guys start making shots, start playing with more aggressiveness, that'll take the ball out of his hands. Um, I know Steven was saying that if Bridges and OG just hit a few more threes, I mean, Bridges was playing a good game, bro, until the last 5 minutes of the game. I mean, he
Yeah,
was hitting shots. He had 19 points, but you know, it
he
happens,
was three
bro.
for
It
11 from the
happens.
3 point line. Yo, in the
Yeah.
beginning,
Yeah.
we were 0 for like 8 from the 3 point line, and I think we was up by one or some shit like that. And I was like,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
and I text the group
Yeah.
chat, yo, if we were making these threes, this game would be over. You know what I mean? Like, and our ineptness from the 3 point line is kind of what was our doom in the beginning. You feel me? Like, because we should have easily been up in the first half by like 15 points because we was getting wide open 3 point shots. You feel me?
Mhm.
Uh, and Deuce got to show up to the party, man. Like he got to be better. He had some shots tonight, and I hopefully that give him some confidence. You know what I mean? He was 2 for 4 from 3 point line, but hopefully that gave him some confidence going into the next game. He got to show up to the party, and I want to see
Well,
DeLon Wright play over Shamit this next game.
I mean, um, yo, go get. I didn't really get to see that comment yesterday. I didn't even know you asked that, but
What do you ask?
he said I asked y'all last stream, would y'all rather Bridges or Dante, but nobody answered. But I didn't even see that, to be honest with you. Um, I mean, obviously Dante is a lethal 3-point shooter, bro. And I would still love to have Dante on this team, but it is what it is, bro. We gotta move on from that train. He's
Yeah,
no
I,
longer here no more.
listen, I'd rather have Mikal. He gives us more versatility defensively. Uh, he
Hmm.
add the mid range shooting. You know what I mean? Love Dante. Wish he was still on the team, but when he wasn't shooting threes, when he was going to the cup, he was Mr. Smokey the Bear. He was smoking layups left and right, smoking
But
layups.
I do gotta say though, Dante gave us a lot of effort. I mean, I know he might have not been the greatest defender, but he did give
Mikal
us
give
a
a
lot
lot
of
of.
effort.
You
Yeah,
saw the
yeah, yeah.
effort
No,
Mikal was
no,
putting up tonight
no. I'm not
defensively.
saying that. I'm not saying that. I see what Mikal do and what kind of defender he is. I always, defend him here on his panel when a lot of the people, say he's not a good defender. Um, but you know, guys got to play better team defense. That's the problem. It's the better team defense, leaving guys wide open for 3-point shot. Like for instance, that last 3-point shot on Dennis Schroeder. I felt like Josh Hart should have stayed on him. You was the
Nah,
closest guy there.
nah. I know what Josh was doing. I know what Josh was doing. That one is on JB. Josh was trying to save JB for the mismatch. They was trying to search out that mismatch all
But
fourth
they were
quarter.
mismatching all game long
No,
with
no, I'm
with
saying
with JB on Tobias Harris
yeah,
all
but
game
they,
long.
again in that situation is a tie ball game. Last minute, Josh was trying to keep JB from having to guard Tobias Harris in that situation. Uh, JB wasn't aware he was trying to switch on to Tobias Harris when he should have been stepping up to guard. Uh, and I think it's a lack of communication on both of their parts. Yeah, I mean it's not just one or the other. But I get what Josh was trying to do. You know what I mean? I think he should have communicated that earlier. You know what I mean? Uh, but yeah, I get what Josh was trying to do. You know what I mean, because we
Mm.
we We did get lucky on a few possessions. JB did put up a good fight, caused the turnover when he was stuck on Tobias, but I wasn't trying to see that again. I wasn't trying to see that again. But it was just unfortunate nobody stepped up. You know what I mean? Big shot by Dennis Schroeder. You know what I mean? That was a gigantic shot. Uh
Nah, huge.
yeah, but it is what it is, man. On to the next. We be back Thursday. Well, I'll be at work watching the game, but we gonna win Thursday for sure.
As
That's it.
long as like we keep saying, man, guys got to play 4 quarters better. This team got to play 4 quarter basketball. You can't just come up and in the fourth quarter and make a run. It's impossible for you to win a game like that.
And what we seen is in the fourth quarter, the pressure be getting to these guys. You know what I mean? So if we go in the fourth quarter with a lead, I'm confident we coming out this game with a W because we see the pressure get to these guys. That's how we keep on climbing back into these games. Uh, but we got to get the lead and keep the lead, bro. Like we have to start the game well. You know what I mean? We have to start the game well. You know what I mean? Just today was not a good day. It was not a good day. Uh,
Wow.
uh, but Kid Crowd was spilled milk. I 100% think we're gonna win the next game. It's still Knicks and five for sure. You know what I mean? This was day one. You know what I mean? This was day one. I do think Cat is gonna come out and be more aggressive next game. I'm gonna say the same thing for OG too. I think they're gonna come out and be super aggressive next game. I think the team as a whole is going to put more onus on the refs to make the call instead of being passive. Uh, and, and I'm not gonna say we're gonna win convincingly, but we definitely going to win. It's not gonna be that much of a struggle. I feel like we're gonna take that Detroit crowd out of the game early. You know what I mean? And blitz Cade Cunningham off pick and rolls. Blitz him. Make him give up the rock every single time. Make them have to pass the ball to Durant and make Durant have to be the playmaker for the team the whole entire time. I don't mind you blitzing Durant. Blitzing Cade Cunningham, leaving Durant, and you have somebody slide over and make Durant have to be a scorer and a playmaker all game. I could live with that. For sure I can. For sure I could live with that. We not losing to that formula.
Mm-hmm.
We not losing to that formula. But yeah, Tibbs gotta everybody has to be better. Like, there's enough blame to go around for everybody today. Everybody has to be better. Tibbs, JB Cat, everybody on the roster, has to be better. And I think you should have gave Cam some more minutes. Like, Cam is a microwave. He's a microwave. Do I think he deserved only 4 minutes today? Bro didn't even get to shoot.
Wow.
He didn't even get to shoot. They got a 0 on every stat column, except for turnovers and fouls. Word. But yo, I ain't gonna hold you. I'm about to get out of here. I need to go rest, man. Unless y'all got more. I'm sorry. I always do that. I always tell y'all I'm leaving before I got nothing else.
I'm
Wrap
good.
it up.
Man, I'm just gonna give the high sign nowadays.
Wrap
I ain't even
that shit up, B. You can't read the sun. Wrap that shit up, B.
gonna say.
Yo, I'm gonna do my thing. Kev stepped away, but good night. You going to bed? No, you should. Uh, what you would call it. Shout out to everybody that pulled up tonight. If you didn't do so already, make sure you hit that like button. Sharing is already always caring. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. Press the notification bell. Set it to all. And if you haven't got you some Knicks and Ish merch, I mean, go to the link that's scrolling across the bottom of your screen. I mean, get you a hoodie, get you a Cat's Bodega tee, you get you a nice drinking glass. You feel me? Yeah, we doing some things. You feel me? There's something else up there I can't remember right now, but there's something else up there.
The mug.
Oh yeah, yeah. Get you a Knicks and Ish mug. Yeah, I got all the paraphernalia here. You feel me? Like, uh, but yeah, appreciate everybody, and let's go Knicks. See y'all game.
Um,
Yeah, Kev.
listen, I just, guys gotta understand. My bad, cause my son woke up and he started
No, you
crying
good.
and
You
all
good,
that.
bro.
But guys gotta understand, like this series it wasn't gonna be a walk in the park.
Sure.
We was not sweeping the Pistons. All
Mm-hmm.
right, we know what kind of team the Detroit Pistons are. Nobody's sleeping on them over here, like people saying. Like we woke, we seen, what kind of team the Pistons became in the middle of the season. You know what I mean? But sometimes it's gonna take for us to play harder. Give us some grit and show everybody what we capable of doing. But they gotta play mistake free basketball. The Knicks are killing themselves. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
the
Yeah.
mistakes that these guys are making are mental mistakes. It's not the Pistons beating us, it's us beating us. You know what I mean? If we could stop beating ourselves, we could win. We will be okay. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But like I said, this might go 7 games, y'all. We might be in for a long series. I said it before. This might be a 7 game series. You know what I
Facts.
mean? And I'm okay with that because this is just gonna be a learning experience for our team.
And another thing I wanted to point out tonight too. Uh, it looked like the pressure was getting to Malik Beasley a little bit tonight. Man was 1 from 8 from three. Talking about one of the best 3-point shooters in the whole entire NBA.
Yeah, yeah.
And
And
pressure
so
looked
was
like
and
it's
so was Tim Hardaway. Tim Hardaway too. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
Tim
The
Hardaway
two
was
guys that were killing us in the first game, they didn't really kill us in this game.
yeah.
You know?
And that's what I always say about high 3-point shooting teams. I go, yo, the pressure is different in the playoffs on each and every shot. Yeah, I mean, once you get cold and that's your bread and butter, there's more pressure on the next shot. If you go 0 for 3, there's more pressure on the fourth one. Then there's more pressure on
Mhm.
and it keeps building and building. And I felt like that was happening to Tim Hardaway and Malik Beasley tonight. Uh, I feel like that's also a key. If you run them two off the 3-point line, blitz Cade Cunningham, you have a great shot at beating them in a basketball game. Great shot. Yeah, I
Mhm.
mean, those are two things you got to hunker down. I think we did a great job on running both of them off the 3-point line tonight. But we just didn't contain Cade, right? But
Mm-hmm.
you live to fight another day. I think our guys is going to be more than ready for game one in Detroit. We've been a good road team all season. Yeah, I mean, so I also feel like we play better with adversity. We don't handle success well. We don't handle success well. Like this team, it definitely rests on their laurels. Yeah, I mean, we've seen it all season. Like we'll have a great game next game, come out and have a shit fest. Uh, but we'll see. Again, appreciate everybody that pulled up. We
Fact.
about to get up out of here. Rise.
Somebody hit the outro.
Mic check 1, 2. Tell these rappers I'm outside, get them start acting up. Turning hoes to housewives and cleaning the ratchet up. Do it off from boom back to melody rap. If they can put you in the box, then you might as well pack it up. Bars having bars, no cap, I'm Attica, you a precinct. How y'all competing when y'all just decent? Your rhyme efficiency's like logic simplicity. Don't tell me how much that you black, cause I don't see it.